Welcome to the review of Kaguya-Sama Love is War Season 2. Now onto the episode. Episode 1 begins with Kaguya hanging out with Miyuki asleep. Miyuki and Ishigami give romantic advice to Tsubasa. The student council watches Tsubasa and Nagisa. The student council plays the happy life game. Episode 1 ends with the student council getting their fortune told. Episode 2 begins with Kaguya going shopping with Kei, Chika and Moeha. Kaguya celebrates Miyuki's birthday. Episode 2 ends with the student council talking about Miyuki's birthday. Episode 3 begins with the student council watching the moon. The student council look back on the year. The student council leave the council room. The student council hangs out. Kaguya asks Miyuki to run for president again. Episode 3 ends with Miyuki joining the election. Episode 4 begins with Kaguya dares Ai to make Miyuki fall in love with her. Ai fails. Miyuki prepares his campaign. Miyuki gets help from Kaguya. Episode 4 ends with Miyuki, Chika and Ishigami meeting a girl named Miko who is also running for student council president. Episode 5 begins with the students noticing a change in Miyuki. Nagisa, Ishigami and Chika give love advice to Kaguya. Chika helps Miyuki sing the school anthem. Episode 5 ends with Kaguya speaking to Miko. Episode 6 begins with the election starting. Miyuki wins the election. Miyuki offers Miko a spot on the student council. Episode 6 ends with Miyuki's group returning to the student council room. Episode 7 begins with Kaguya and Miyuki talking about underwear. Kaguya gives Miyuki a massage. Episode 7 ends with the student council talking about manga. Episode 8 begins with the student council hanging out. Kaguya and Miyuki get stuck in the gym storage room. Miko helps Kaguya and Miyuki out. Kaguya faints. Episode 8 ends with Kaguya learning from the doctor that she fainted because she is in love. Episode 9 begins with Miko wanting to resign from the student council. Miko decides not to resign. Ai helps Kaguya develop a calming ritual. Kaguya and Miyuki talk. Ishigami joins the cheerleading squad for the sports festival. Episode 9 ends with Ishigami trying on Kaguya's uniform. Episode 10 begins with Miyuki talking to his father and Kei about Kaguya. Miyuki learns how to dance. Kobachi thinks of the similarities between Ishigami and Miko. The sports festival begins. Episode 10 ends with Kaguya meeting Miyuki's father. Episode 11 begins with Ishigami remembering his middle school days. Ishigami remembers defending a girl and being hated afterwards. Ishigami remembers meeting Miyuki and going to high school. Episode 11 ends with the sports festival concluding. Episode 12 begins with the student council working on the school pamphlet. Kaguya's phone breaks. Kaguya gets a new phone. The student council exchange contact info. The student council makes a photo album. Episode 12 ends with the student council playing a game. That was Kaguya-Sama Love is War Season 2. Now onto my final thoughts. Starting with the good, the characters and the comedy were good. The opening theme Daddy Daddy Do by Masayuki Suzuki. There weren't anything I would consider bad besides the relationship between Kaguya and Miyuki not really progressing that much. Overall I would give it a 7.5 out of 10.